Mark.
Hey travelers, welcome back to Roberto's Room. So yes, Daredevil has returned to Hell's Kitchen in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Now, I wanted to talk about this. I just saw the first episode. It premiered last night, and of course, I was there. I had to be there because I have been waiting for Season 2 of this show. If you kept up with the channel at all during its first year, you know that I absolutely loved Season 1. I know that a lot of people didn't, and of course, I think they, to borrow from John Hammond, did spare some expense when it came to the show, and you could definitely tell that they did that. However, I really liked what they tried to do, and even with the new villain that was in the show, Muse, I thought was a really good addition, although honestly, if I were being honest, I don't think he was used to full extent, but that's kind of interesting in how he comes back to play in this season. Not to give too much away because I want you to experience it, but there is something to say about his actions and the repercussions of his actions that do bleed into this season, which brings me really neatly into Season 2, Episode 1, which premiered last night. And I have to say, right off the bat, you can tell from the first shot of this first episode,
that budget at Disney went up.
Because right when you see Daredevil for the very first time on this show, wearing, thank God, his Double D suit from the comics for the very first time, you can tell that they're putting some money behind this show now. And not that money makes everything good, but I think that this show could have benefited, especially that first episode of Season 1, from a little bit more money, because the first time you see Daredevil, it honestly looked a little bit cartoony, and not in a good way. But needless to say, this episode starts off with a bang, and you really get to see Daredevil doing what he does best. And what I loved most about this episode was how you really got to jump back in with all of these characters. When I saw Matt Murdock and Karen Page back together, I thought, oh, we are back. We are back in the old spirits of the show, and they dumped that DEI woman psychiatrist lady who's now working for Fisk. I like that she's working for Fisk because I didn't like her with Matt at all, and I really did not like their dynamic whatsoever. But she is back on the show, which I like the role that she's in now more so than the one she had in Season 1. Wilson Fisk, of course, is back, and Vanessa Fisk. I'm telling you, Vincent D'Onofrio, it's like putting on a glove with Fisk at this point. The way he just oozes this character, it brought me back, seeing him in this first episode of Season 2, back to the very first time I saw him absolutely demolish somebody's head with a car door in Season 1 on the Netflix version of this show. This man is an incredible actor, and Charlie Cox as well. He is one that, and I've said this in my review of the first season of Daredevil Born Again, that I honestly thought the man was blind, and it wasn't until I saw him in a press interview that I realized, oh, this man is literally not blind. Like, he's that good of an actor at playing a blind man, because he could have fooled me, and he did. Not only that, but just seeing everybody back. And one of the things that I loved and genuinely stuck out to me about this season's first episode is, you remember the promise that the MCU had from the very beginning of it's all connected. Seeing some of the little things in this show, like they casually mention Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, which has been in Thunderbolts and Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and some other little nuggets of information, it really made you feel like you did back in peak MCU going into Phase 2, where everything was all connected, and that was what was strived for. I feel like ever since the multiverse saga, the MCU kind of lost that luster a little bit, and the connectivity of the MCU had kind of been a little bit lacking, which brings me to kind of an interesting aside with this show in particular, especially as we go into Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is going to take place, as far as we know, in New York. Are they going to address this at all? Because Punisher was in Daredevil Born Again Season 1. I don't think is going to be in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, but he is in Brand New Day, which takes place in the same version of New York City. It's not a multiverse version of New York City. So are they going to address all of the vigilante crackdowns going on in Brand New Day? I hope they do, for the sake of synergy, because that would be an interesting world for Spider-Man to be in. I'm not saying I want Fisk in the movie, although that would be great, but I hear there's some legal hoops that you have to jump through for that. But just to know that they live and breathe in the same New York City, which he should if he's in the mainline MCU, I'm kind of struggling to see how they're going to fulfill that, but I really hope that they do touch on that in Brand New Day. Needless to say, this first episode was incredible. You got to catch up with all of the characters and set up some things. There's actually a really cool moment where BB, who does the reporting, you get this really happy video, which of course it feels like Fisk made it, but then you cut into another version of it that felt to me like one of the Joker videos from The Dark Knight or something out of The Purge, and it was great just to see that not all is well in New York City, and I'm really excited to see where they take it from there, because there's definitely some cracks in the facade showing that I'm very excited to see where they go next. Have you seen Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episode 1? Are you excited? As excited as I am? I hope that you are, because I love this show, and I'm really excited to see where they take it next. Before you go, if you would, my puppies and I would love for you to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video with me, travelers, and as always, go with grace.